Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Francesa podcast, part of the Bet Rivers Network. We come to you tonight after this Monday night debacle, a easy pat win, a non-competitive game from the Giants, a stinker in every way. I mean, there's nothing else to say about this game from start to finish. The Giants showed you why they did not fire their defensive coordinator, because they had nobody who could coordinate the defense, and the defense had no idea what it was doing tonight. Uh, Guys open all over the field. May just playing pitch and catch when the game was still a game. So a lot of the Giant yardage in the second half, which wasn't even efficient or effective. Matter of fact, it's the first time Dart played without a spark, and I really think that hit he took along the sideline when he should have got out of bounds, and he didn't. And I thought it was a nasty hit to begin with, but still, it was legitimate. And the Pats came out laying the lumber tonight on the Giants. The Giants were not prepared for that. The Pats came out hitting and really hitting, especially on special teams. And I thought that scared the Giants. I think it put a very much a feeling of caution into Dart tonight, because I thought Dart played tonight under restraint after that hit. I didn't think he ran with abandon any time. I don't think he was looking. He made a couple of little runs for first downs. He never tried to break a big play with his legs. He was not looking to buy time with plays. He was looking to get rid of the ball. I really think he took a couple of hits early in that game that shook him up. And I think he was told on the sideline, hey, don't get yourself killed here. And he almost did get himself killed in the first quarter of the game. And what can you say on special teams? A 94-yard punt return for a touchdown, and then a play that will live in infamy and really encapsulates the night and the Giants season. I've never seen a kicker miss the ball before. I've never seen that. I don't know how many NFL games I've watched in my life, but I have never seen a kicker get stuck in the turf ever. But I think it sums up the evening. I think it sums up the Giants season. They mercifully have a bye. And let's be honest, after a night like this, you don't even want to see the Giants play again this year. You really don't. And I understand they have winnable games. They have Washington, which has lost, I believe, 6 in a row. They have the Vikings, who are auditioning these quarterbacks who cannot play even a little. They have the Raiders, who are about as bad as any team in the league. And Pete Carroll, other than having a great tight end and a confused first-year running back, has a hideous team. And, of course, Max Crosby. And then the Cowboys will either be out of it in the last week when they come and visit the Giants, or they will completely fill the stadium and have a lot to play for, which will tick the Giant owners off to no end, because the place will be 100% full with Cowboy fans. And it will be like the games in Dallas. So that's if the game counts. If the game doesn't count and the Cowboys are out of it, maybe they're playing for pride. Maybe they're playing for a winning season or a 500 season. Maybe they have a reason to play. Who knows? But they're the better team. The question is, what's their motivation? If they are alive, and a lot of that will start to be told in this Thursday night game against the Lions, which is an enormous game. And next week, which I will highlight for you in a couple minutes, is a incredible week of big games. But the Giants were dreadful tonight in every way. Coaching, F. Special teams, F. Awareness, F. Defense, F. I don't know why Carter was benched for the first quarter. It doesn't sound like they're going to tell us. Coach's decision. Well, what is going on here? This is a player that, remember, I had to, and a lot of other people did too, had to not only rip him for the temerity, but also just caution him on what life would have been like if he ever had been granted, which he never would, to wear the great Lawrence Taylor's number. I mean, how dare he? And now, for the second time, he has been disciplined late in the season. Now, he's got a first week defensive coordinator, and he is benched for the start of the game. For what? I'm sure we'll find out. Maybe we'll find out in the post-game press conference. I didn't feel like waiting for it. I waited long enough tonight watching this garbage. I had to sit through a second half, which meant absolutely nothing. The only way you sat through the second half is if you had a bet on, one of the players having a total for the evening, like Theo Johnson catching 3.5 balls was a big one tonight everywhere. I saw that 100 times. He didn't because he drops too many balls. I mean, he got targeted enough times. He just dropped too many balls. He caught 3, so he drove me crazy. And the last ball kind of went to him. So, hey, it was headed for him anyway. Or you had some, exotic bet you were waiting for, or because otherwise, why would you even bother watching the second half? You're doing something else while you kept an eye on it. This game was just complete garbage time after halftime. That's all there is to it. After the fumble on the kick return, which I cannot blame the returner for because he got his bell completely wrong. And the Pats just out-hit him, out-executed them, outplayed them, out-quarterbacked them, and soup to nuts, did everything that you could possibly do to a team. And it looked very much like a team that is winning games in leaps and bounds and a team that cannot win a game. That's what they look like. They look like two ships passing in the night, one sinking and the other one headed for gold. And that's exactly what you have right now with these teams. You really do. It was an awful night for the Giants. And frankly, I thought the Giants would come out and be enthusiastic. They'd play a decent offensive game, and then they'd probably get beat late. They weren't even in the game, let's be honest. The game was just garbage from the start. I mean, they had a chance to get 17-10, and they were still in the game. And like I said, that play will live forever. I mean, I've never seen a kicker get his foot caught in the turf. Never. Never seen that before in my life. And it just signifies who the Giants are. Let me get to a couple other things. First, let me tell you about the Mike Francesa newsletter. Sign up for the free Mike Francesa newsletter. You'll get exclusive content, contest offers. Go to the MikeFrancesAPodcast.com and sign up. And remember, it's absolutely free. Now, players who place a qualifying same-game parlay of at least $10 on eligible NFL and NCAA football games will receive one standard entry into the weekly Squares game. Winning standard Squares will be awarded up to $50 bonus bet per entry. See the Bet Rivers app or website for full details. Now, a couple of things. Let me stay on the NFL, then I'll finish up with a couple of things on the Mets. Giants are off next week. Pats are off next week. Late season buys. Giants mercifully can use a buy next week. They really can. I mean, we don't need to see them for a little while. Panthers, who are a good 7-6. Pats, who are a stellar 11-2. Niners, who are a brilliant 9-4, considering the injuries they've had this year, and the woeful, awful 2-11 New York Giants. Now, I mentioned next week. We have a lot of tight races right now. I mean, really crazy races. I know everybody got a big kick about what Andy said. The Chiefs have to win their last 5 games. They can't break ties. Either can the Cowboys. They both have dreadful conference records. They can't break ties. The Chiefs have to win all 5 games. They know that. Starting this week at home. Okay. In what is a very big game. Sunday night. Texans and Chiefs in Kansas City. Andy said something that will, be emblazoned in T-shirts in a couple of weeks if they get hot. He said, "Hey, we're going to win all 5, and we're going to tickle your tonsils." Okay, that was his line today. So, Andy Reid, who has dominated the NFL for a decade, has won 9 straight division titles, has put together a Kansas City dynasty after his run in Philadelphia, and made himself one of the greatest coaches in the history of the NFL along the way, says, "Hey, there's life left in the old boys. And we'll see starting this week as they will take on the best defensive team in the league and their pass rush. And that means Kansas City has got to be able to keep Mahomes upright in this game. They have got to be able to compensate for their woeful problems on the offensive line, or that's going to be a problem. But there are so many big games this week, starting Thursday night with the 6-5-1 Cowboys, who have done wondrous things the last 2 weeks, to my surprise and to many people's surprise. Get the 7-4 Lions, who are hurting. The loser of this game is probably not going to the playoffs. This is an enormous game on Thursday night. On top of that, you have 4 other games. You have, I'm not even going to give you the Bengals and the Bills because I'm not counting the Bengals at 4-8 yet. But with Burrow there, they have a chance against the Bills because Burrow is that good. So you have to take him into account, especially if Higgins comes back from the concussion. You have the Colts and the Jaguars, both at 8-4. The Colts have come back to the pack at 8-4. The Jaguars are 8-4. The Texans are 7-5. That is now a very tight race. It's a tight race everywhere, and that is an enormous game right now. The Colts, yes, they're 8-4. Yes, the Jaguars are 8-4. Colts need a win. They need to stop the bleeding right here. Steelers and Ravens, both off bad losses. It looks like Rodgers is going to have a very hard time playing with the broken wrist. They have no wide receivers other than Metcalf. Rodgers called his wide receivers out. You have them booing Tomlin. You have them criticizing Rodgers. You have the Steelers at 6-6 in Baltimore to take on the Ravens, who are sending out a Lamar Jackson, who I have watched week after week now not be able to produce a touchdown because he is so injured. And they're sending him out there. For how long, I don't know. That game is enormous, enormous. Then you have the Bears and the Packers. Now, this is for supremacy in the division. This is for supremacy maybe in the conference. The Bears at 9-3 right now, the number 1 seed. The Bears, the number 1 seed. Packers at 8-3-1, Bears at 9-3. Enormous game in Green Bay. They play twice in the next 3 weeks. Sunday night, the Texans 7-5, the Chiefs 6-6. The Chiefs knowing they have to win all 5 games to go to the playoffs, to keep their postseason dream alive, to keep the dynasty alive. They have to win all 5 games. This is a tough matchup for them, even at home, because the Texans are the best defense in the league and they got an amazing pass rush. Eagles at 8-4. Off what's going on with them. Blowing a 21-0 lead in Dallas, getting run out of their own building by the Bear running game. Now the Chargers, banged up Chargers, but Harbaugh trying to piece the team together with 4th-string running backs and 3rd-string offensive linemen and 2nd-string defensive pass rushers. Eagles and Chargers, Texans and Chiefs, Bears and Packers, Steelers and Ravens, Colts and Jaguars, Cowboys and Lions. What a week 14 in the National Football League. Now, they've signed Devin Williams. I don't like Devin Williams. I didn't like him with the Yankees last year. I didn't like his body language. I didn't like anything about him. I know he pitched well at times. I can't look at that changeup all the time. I understand he's a good pitcher. I understand he put up good numbers. They say they're still in on Diaz. They can have him. Now, if he's setting up for Diaz, I'm okay with it. If he's the closer, I hate it. They need Diaz back in the worst way. And if they don't get him, if the Yankees let him get out of town, they're out of their minds. And it was a big day for Steve Cohen, so he might be in a big spending mood these next couple of days. Because Steve Cohen has had his eye on one prize after he got the Mets. He wanted this casino license in the worst way. And now he's got it. 2030. The target date is fall 2030 to open one of the biggest casinos in the United States. So the rich get richer and richer and richer and richer. And if you're a Met fan, hey, you know what that means? There's no accounting for how much he can spend if he wants to. Makes no difference. He can't spend it all. So he can buy you into oblivion if he wants to. We'll see how that plays out. But he got his casino. It'll be 5 years in the making. 5 years from right now, it will open. 5 years, target date sometime in November 2030. Will be one of the most active casinos in America. Money over money over money over money over money over money. Yeah, take up a collection for these guys. Listen to them when they tell you they don't have any money. Listen to them when they tell you that, oh, the Yankees didn't make money. Check the other pockets. When they tell you that the Yankees didn't make money, check the other pockets. If you want to know where the money is. That's all you got to do. It's there. And just ask them once if they'll open their books. Like I told you before, donkeys will fly. Two things I will never see in baseball, I believe. If I see the one, I will be absolutely stunned. Number one, opening the books will never happen in ever, 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 ever. And I don't think there's any way there will ever be a baseball cap. That's a hard cap in baseball. I do not believe there will ever be. I don't think the Players Association, going back haunted by the ghosts of Marvin Miller, it's at all. I don't think it will ever happen. I keep hearing, oh yeah, well, there could be there could be a cap in baseball. And remember, if you don't have a hard cap, if you create a cap that has a whole bunch of loopholes, it's not a cap. You want a cap like the NFL has, where you're not allowed to be over the cap. Case closed. You are not allowed to be over the cap. That's a cap. That will never happen in baseball. Absolutely never. And as far as opening the books, hey, you got to be kidding me. You think they're going to tell you the real story? Never. Never. Like I said, if you're looking for the money, check the other pockets. You know, everyone's wondering, where's the money? Just check the other pockets. Check the other corporations and all the different ways they can put money here, there, here, there, here, there, here, there, here, there, there. Why would they want to show a ton of revenue under the Yankees? They have to share that. We'll see you later.